week of no accountability. It started with Hillary not being indicted, and at this point we're talking about people who are upset about things that are going on in the community, and no solution has been provided at this point.
And so just to put things in the context for many of our viewers who may be non-black or non-Muslim or non-persecuted is what I would like to say. What you have to understand from the perspective of these people, imagine that oppressed demographic has been telling people for years, for centuries, that they are being oppressed, that they are being brutalized by these actors.
There's nothing new about this.
And so now we have the technology in order to demonstrate to people, yes, these people are brutalizing us. Yes, these people are killing us with impunity. These people are taking advantage of our body through Jim Crow, slavery, etc. And it's still going on today. But instead of people taking action, instead of people taking your account seriously, even though we have video evidence of these events, immediately the evidence is dismissed. And immediately the conversation, instead of being focused on the acts of the police officers in those instances, is immediately turned to the victims themselves.
Thank you.
More thorough investigations are performed against the victims than on the police officers who are responsible for their deaths.
I got to jump in this too. I got to jump in on this because this is so good. I shared on Facebook this meme that said only black people are put on trial for being murdered.
Yes.
Only us.
You're right.
And this is so important because like somebody shared about Alton Sterling, they were saying look at his criminal record and what he did. That has nothing to do with the fact that police held him. To our knowledge at this point, we don't even have a probable cause for why the police acted against him. The owner of the shop said that this man never had any issues with anybody. He was out there selling CDs. We have no probable cause at this point for what happened to Alton Sterling. We have none for when it comes to Philando Castile. We didn't have any for Trayvon. We didn't have any for Sandra Bland, and we didn't have any for Eric Garner. In fact, we had an illegal New York chokehold there, but that's a whole nother conversation. We don't have that. So we have been dealing with this since the first slave stepped on this continent in 1619, and I'm talking about North America, South America, that's even earlier. And so we've been saying this, nobody listens, and I'll just be honest, so many people have been indoctrinated and conditioned to where we can tell you, we can show you the video, but you have been so brainwashed that when we show you the video, your first thought is, well, what did he do?
What did he do?
What did he do?
What did
he must have done something. I have an idea. Maybe it's just because he's black. Maybe it's because she's black. Maybe it's because they're black. Because here's the reality. We are dealing with a weaponization of our skin color. That we are already seen to be a threat simply because we're black. I haven't heard the NRA say anything about the fact that these were people with permits who were carrying their guns. Why? Because the NRA doesn't represent us. They represent white people who are protected to be able to carry their weapons. And let me also say this too. If you're white and watching this, or you're non-persecuted, don't think that you're safe. I know two white people who just got pulled over and they were harassed by the police. They had their pictures taken. They had their houses, their cars searched. You're not safe. If you are not wealthy and if you are not famous, you are not safe. This can happen to you, and this has been happening to you more and more. In fact, don't you have an example of that?
So, for instance, Dylan Noble, it's a white kid, was actually shot, unarmed, shot by the police. And there's, of course, there's plenty of reports on it. Los Angeles County Police Department was responsible, of course, for his death. And, so what's fascinating about all of this is, whenever Black Lives Matter holds a protest in regards to black people that are killed, and I have a lot of really intense Facebook conversations and debates about this. Whenever Black Lives Matter come out and protest the murders of black individuals, everyone wants to protest all lives matter. But here you have a situation to where a non-black person, Dylan Noble, was killed. He's a kid, 16 years old, was killed by the police, unarmed. And where's the All Lives Matter crowd at? Why aren't they protesting in the streets? Why aren't they demonstrating? Why aren't they doing anything in support of this person?
It's almost like it was a hashtag created to silence Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, so it's, absolutely. So it has nothing to do, exactly, All Lives Matter has nothing to do with demonstrating that, all life should be precious. It has everything to do with silencing the momentum of our movement in order to say that, look, listen, what you need to do actually is bow your heads, be quiet. We understand that you're getting killed disproportionately. We understand that if you're an unarmed Black citizen, you are 5 times more likely to be killed by the police state than your white counterparts. We understand those factors, that 25% of fatalities by police shootings are Black people, even though we're 13% of the damn population.
And Black men are 6% of the population. So that makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
And don't give me this black on black crime stuff. I'm tired of hearing this because when a Black person commits a crime, or as we're seeing now, doesn't, there is what you could call justice, what we would call police brutality. It happens, okay? But when police, who we entrust with more responsibility, commit these kind of heinous acts where somebody is killed, they just get a death job.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something here, something I've been thinking about all week, and the things that I've been writing on Facebook, that I believe that we as Black people in this country who are aware of these issues have it's a two-sided coin. We have a gift and a curse. What we're talking about is part of the curse, is that we are seen as lesser, we are seen as weapons. It is easy for mainstream culture to disregard our lives but value our culture. They'll dress like us, they'll look like us, they'll sound like us, but they don't want to be us. I haven't seen Kim Kardashian, any of them, talk about these issues, but they will look like us for a profit. But the gift on the other side of it is that because we suffer these injustices and atrocities, we, whether society likes it or not, are actually some of the leaders of this country. Now follow what I'm saying for a minute. Because when there are injustices that happen, we're the ones who lead the charge to make this country better. As slaves under Frederick Douglass, we led to say, hey, our lives matter. We should not be enslaved. And we were able to work with white people who recognized that we were right.